In February 1959, 9 hikers entered the Ural Mountains. They were experienced, prepared, documented. Their tent was later found cut open from the inside. Footprints led into the darkness. Some barefoot, some injured. They never returned. What forced disciplined mountaineers to flee into lethal cold without their gear? What caused injuries compared to a car crash with no signs of a struggle? And why were parts of the investigation sealed for decades? The mountain did not kill them. Something made them leave. In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers entered the Ural Mountains. They did not come back. Their tent was found days later, sliced open from the inside. The mountain did not offer an explanation. Neither did the investigation. What remained was silence, and a trail of details that refused to align. The journey that ended in flight. The group was young, confident, trained in winter expeditions. They carried skis, cameras, journals, and optimism. Their goal was simple: reach Otorten, a remote peak in the northern Urals. Instead, they stopped on a slope now known as Dyatlov Pass, a place with no shelter, no trees, and no reason to camp. Yet they did. And then something happened. Something that forced them to cut their way out of their own tent in the middle of the night, barefoot, underdressed, into sub-zero darkness. The first unseen clue: the camp location. Experienced hikers do not camp on exposed slopes. Wind scours heat. Snow shifts. Visibility collapses. Safer terrain existed nearby. A forested valley less than a kilometer away. Why stay exposed? Some theorize exhaustion. Others suggest they were testing endurance. But the journals show they were methodical, not reckless. The choice remains unexplained. The tent that became an exit wound. Rescue teams found a tent slashed from the inside. Not torn, not collapsed, cut. This detail changes everything. It suggests urgency, not panic from cold, not gradual evacuation. It implies something made the normal exit unusable or irrelevant. The hikers fled into darkness, leaving behind boots, coats, and food. A decision that is almost always fatal. The footprints that didn't run. Investigators found footprints leading away from the tent. They were orderly, not frantic. Some walked, some limped, some left barefoot impressions in the snow. No signs of a struggle. No external footprints. Just 9 sets of tracks disappearing into the forest. Whatever drove them out did not chase them, or left no trace. The bodies in the treeline. The first 2 bodies were found beneath a pine tree near a makeshift fire. Their hands were burned, as if they were desperately trying to warm themselves. Their skin showed signs of paradoxical undressing, a known symptom of hypothermia. But paradox alone cannot explain the others. 3 bodies lay between the forest and the tent, as if they tried to return, for were found deeper in a ravine, buried under snow. Their injuries were severe: crushed ribs, skull fractures, internal trauma. No external wounds. No evidence of a fight. Doctors compared the forest to a car crash, but there were no cars, no tracks, no witnesses. The radiation anomaly. Some clothing tested positive for radiation. Not enough to kill, but enough to raise questions. Several hikers had worked in nuclear facilities, but the distribution was uneven, not consistent with workplace contamination. The files do not clarify the origin. The data simply exists unresolved. The missing evidence. Several photographs taken during the trip remain unexplained. One final image is blurred, showing what might be a light source or movement in the distance. Is it evidence? Or an artifact of a damaged camera? The official investigation concluded an unknown compelling force caused the deaths. A phrase that explains nothing while closing the case. Many records were sealed for decades. Some were reportedly lost. Silence replaced analysis. The unseen clue: behavioral inconsistencies. The hikers were not reckless novices. They were disciplined and methodical. Yet their final actions contradict everything they knew about survival. Leaving shelter, leaving clothing, splitting into groups. It suggests cognitive disruption. Panic induced by something sudden and overwhelming, but not visible. Theories and their limitations. Avalanche, military tests, infrasound-induced panic, katabatic winds, secret weapons, psychological breakdown. Each theory explains fragments. None explains everything. The injuries without external damage, the orderly footprints, the radiation, the delayed discovery, the classified files,